the scenes kind of thing. It's a preview. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
Really messed that one up. Are my levels good?
Okay, check 1 2, check 1 2, check.
Oh, this coffee is delicious.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we got Armond Duckchief here. Second, take 2. But I'll kind of work that other part in.
Yeah.
Anyways, one thing that I wanted to talk about today was just tell me a little bit about how you started getting into music, because while I personally don't know how you started out, I kind of just remember one day you were just singing, and I noticed you were doing shows.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think for me it started from powwow music. We did in my teens. Like, I started singing powwow music after I started dancing, and I started dancing because I watched a couple of traditional dancers dance at this powwow they had at the old at the Sports Spec. There was Awareness Week.
Oh, really?
They had that powwow, and I was thinking, oh man, I could do that. So anyways, I did it, and when I did it, I was looking at the drum groups, and I was thinking, I could do this. And I did it for the girls, for the chicks, and it worked. I was, oh man, I sang, and then all the way up until I was about 24, and then finally I felt like I had enough. But the singing powwow music was everything. It helped me with my timing, with my vocals, like the range, the control, all that stuff. Because I was the lead singer of our drum group, right? So I was able to utilize all that. And then what ended up happening when I made the transition from a powwow person to a rodeo cowboy, I was about 25 years old when I started steer wrestling. And it was the same purpose. I was looking at these guys jump off their horses onto those steers, and I'm thinking, I can do that. Yeah. So I went for it, and then it was when I was like, I watched Walk the Line.
Oh, really?
I watched. It was 2004. It came out. I remember I got a guitar because how did it go? Lars Duckchief, I call him Garrett. I grew up with Lars. And then anyways, he taught me how to play guitar in college. We were roommates, and I remember he would do all the like Nirvana. He was always into all that kind of stuff, and he had 2 guitars laying around. One night he handed me the one guitar. He said, "Here, I'll teach you the basics." So he taught me E, A, and B chords. And then the next week it was G, C, and D, and then I eventually got to go, F and all those other chords, and just major chords. He never taught me any bar chords. He taught me how to like kind of hold them, but that was like way back in 2001. And then Walk the Line came out in 2004, and then when I was watching that, same thing. I was like, I can do that. and I remember that one scene when he's writing Folsom Prison in the shower. And I was like, holy I can do that. I can do that. I was like, I got really intrigued. It was something I was like, and I knew how to play the chords. So I dusted off my guitar, because I think I got a guitar for my birthday around 2002 or 2003, and it just sat there. But then in 2004, when Walk the Line came out, I dusted it off. I was like, oh, I'm going to try this out. And at the time, I was making the transition into rodeo. So then I started, a major component of this was, I said it was 2000, I don't remember it, but it was my mom and dad's anniversary, and I had a PA system. Because back then you had to bring a PA system with the drum groups, right? Everyone had their own. It was crazy. And then anyways, I had this PA system, and there's my mom and dad were having an anniversary. So I set up karaoke. And because I set it up, I had to be the host. So I was singing all night and convincing other people to come up and sing. And I learned I could sing in karaoke when back in, I think it was like 2000, early 2000, when I was at college. I went on a little bit of a double date, and we went to karaoke, and I sang carrying your love with me. So that's the backstory about like actual country music. So then I watched in 2004, I watched Walk the Line, and I'm like, oh man, I could do this. So I started, when I start rodeoing, you have a lot of downtime in powwow. Yeah. You know, you're basically at the drum all day. You can't really go anywhere, and you're just in one powwow all weekend, right? With rodeo, you're from one rodeo to the next. Sometimes you're hitting like 3 rodeos in a weekend, and you got a lot of like time to like sit there and reflect and think. And the guitar came in really handy. Yeah. So I wrote a song. I wrote "Gold Buckle Dreams," and it was. You know, I started showing that to the boys. Hey, check out this song, and then there's a few other songs that I knew on the guitar, and then it was just messing around at first, but writing my own music. And then Frank Turning Road in 2005 had a jamboree, and he invited me out. He said, hey, come check out the jamboree. You know, he said his father used to run them, and he had bands from Morley and a couple bands from local bands and stuff. So I went to go check it out, and I remember I walked in and I was like, oh man, this is cool. And there was live bands playing, and his band was playing, and it was a jamboree. Everybody was, and I was just kind of sitting there, as like at the arbor. I was in the stands, and I was watching, and then I remember he was like. He was on the mic. He said, "Okay, our next act is up and comer. He's he's gonna be whatever. He's kind of really hyping this person up." And I was like, "Oh, right on. Who's this?" Right? And then he's like, "All right, we got Armond Duckchief." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Holy smokes!" I was like, I was up on the arbor at the top there, and I was like, No. And then he was like, yeah, Arm, come on, Arm, everybody give a round of applause. And I was like, so I went down. Yeah. And I was like, hey, I only know one song. And he gives me the guitar and he says, sing that one. So it was Hank Williams, You Win Again. So I went up there and I just felt like Johnny Cash, hello, I'm Armond Duckchief. And then I sang You Win Again. And yeah, the crowd loved it, and I was hooked ever since. So that's kind of got where my very first live performance. And then from both of those, the karaoke bit and the live stuff, people were asking, well, can you do this? I think my first gig was a breakfast. SRDL maybe. It was a breakfast. They said, hey, can you come and sing here? And I was like, okay. I don't want to sing karaoke there, but I'll bring my guitar. And they're like, okay, yeah, come, we'll pay you. So, all right, how much? I think they paid me like $500. I was hooked. So I did that one, right? Yeah. And then one show led to the next, and then finally I had a little basement band in the flats. Yeah, it was me, Cody, Wolfchild, the late Windsor, Three Sons. It was Gordon, Little Light, and Tyler, Leather. We pieced together this band, right? And we were practicing at Cody's house in the basement, and just going, just singing songs that we knew and songs that. But before that, I was doing a lot of work with. After the jamboree, I was doing some stuff with Frank and Darcy, and we were doing that, and then everything just kind of happened all at the same time. Frank and Darcy had a lot of stuff going on, and then I started a little bit of a side project, and then I got my first gig at the Coast Plaza. It was a Christmas. And I brought a live band, and then so it's everything just from that, like that little from powwow music, and making that transition to country music, being a cowboy, it helped everything, and then just doing the karaoke bit, and then getting one gig leading to the next, and then that's how I got into music.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, was it kind of like hard, especially when you started? Because I know, because now with me, because I'm starting out, kind of like for me, I can just upload a file to the computer to Spotify. And was it a bit? I know it'll kind of different back then. Well, was it hard trying to get your music onto CDs, trying to get your music onto iTunes, stuff like that? Okay,
no, not at all.
Not at all?
What happened was, so the INFR, Indian National Finals Rodeo, they had known, I was good friends with the manager and a lot of the board, and then they knew I was singing. So what they wanted to do was in 2011, they invited me out to sing in Vegas.
Oh, really?
So I at that point I already had written like Go Buckle Dreams. I was working on some other stuff. I did a lot of music writing in about the early 2010, 2011. Early, I did a lot of writing, and so what I did was I accessed a grant here in Siksika, a small business. Yeah, I asked them. I said, "Hey, I got this plan. I want to do a CD, and would you guys do something like that?" And they were like, "Well, yeah, if it's in if it's a business venture, then yeah, we would definitely do that." So. They did it. They backed me up 100%, and it was by chance because at the time I was at the Nashville North Star. I ended up going right to the finals. And in the finals, there was this house band, and the house band was a guy from Calgary by the name of John Thiel, who had his own studio. So he really helped me with like at the Nashville North. My song arrangements, they did all that, and he let me know he had a studio. Well, it was by chance that September 2011. That September, I went to late September. Oh no, late August. I was in Patricia, Alberta, and I bumped into him. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Because I was out there watching my nephew ride steers, and he was out there with Dwayne Steele doing the bar every night for the rodeo. And I said, "Hey, I got a gig coming up in Vegas, and I wouldn't mind recording." Some songs. And he was like, "Oh yeah, come by, like here's my number." And he said, "Give me a call." So I gave him a call, and I said, "Oh, could you shut that off, please?" I gave him a call, and then I said, "Hey, this is the deal here. I have this many songs, I got this much money, can we do an album?" And he said, "We can do anything you want." So we took that time from early September, and we worked like madmen. I was going to the studio till like 3 in the morning. I was at the time, I think I was working at one of the schools. I don't remember. I was working at one of the schools, and so I would go from work to the studio to work back to the studio, and we were doing this day in and day out, and I was writing more songs for the album. And at the end of it all, I did 3 covers, and I did 7 of my own, and we made a full-length album. We got it delivered. We got it pressed in Vancouver and delivered straight to Vegas, to the South Point. And on the day of my gig in South Point was the CD release party. So then, now to answer your question, taking everything that was already produced on the CD and the manufacturing, and then uploading everything to Spotify. Not Spotify. CD Baby. They handled everything. Really? They did everything for me. So you upload everything. They give you like the barcode. They do all of the even the ID, like for every song, right? Every song has its own little ID. They did all that. So they really simplified everything for me. This was 2011. And then everything that had happened at that point was directly onto iTunes. Then as the years kind of went by, they handle everything from the YouTube stuff, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Apple Music, like everything's now about streaming, right? So they're it's a good setup, I don't have to worry. I'll upload a new song. They take all of the work and they plug it into all these streaming sites, and I just sit back.
I was also just because we're on the subject of music too. One thing that also came up through one of our past talks was this idea of something on the reserve happening, and let's say let's say there's a young person on the reserve, you know, let's say they want to kind of start singing, they want to start rapping, or well, whatever genre it is, you know, do you think it would be kind of cool if we had like this sort of kind of place where they could go, where they could where they don't have, like, let's say they don't have the resources to even get a mic or have a guitar, like do you think it would be pretty cool for the reserve just to be able to like be like, okay, oh well, you want to record a song, well, you could go over here, you know, well, we got some people over here, they'll record it for you and they'll do all the other stuff, they'll contact they'll get you in contact, you know, get your stuff on Spotify, get you and stuff, like they'll be like, oh, Armond's here, he could you know, he could actually help you getting into country and stuff, if you want to start writing, he could show you some things, you know, stuff like that. Do you think that would be kind of a cool idea? And like also having it free of cost, but like I guess that's something that's in the future, or like something that's pretty cool. Well, I thought, but
yeah, I mean, absolutely. If there was a resource and a place that kids can come and tap into their creativity, then by all means, you know, I definitely support something like that. I was working at the high school for I don't know how many years. I was the mentorship coach, right? And again, that's kind of what the programming I wanted to bring in. We did a lot of equine stuff, music stuff. You know, there's always I'm always willing to help and share and any kind of knowledge that I have, any experience. Because I do. There's a lot of talent. You know, there's a lot of talent on the nation, and songwriting is definitely you know, it taps into your thoughts and your feelings. It allows you to express yourself in a positive way, whether it's rap, country, alternative. We have a really good metal scene too, like with you know,
I've seen that too.
I get, they have a good energy, good vibe going, and there's a lot of them, you know, so it's definitely, that would be, if there was one hub. I know you know, Siksika has the longest running Aboriginal, I don't know if we were using Aboriginal here, but the longest running Indigenous music festival. We've been doing it since 2004 maybe. It's been a long time. I remember the first one we got was War Party, and then every year like health kind of stepped in, and they you know, they've really been the driving force to this, and we've had all of the big name artists, Aboriginal, Indigenous artists headlining the Run as One Music Festival. You know, that right there is a someplace that we could look at too, because they would definitely, you know, be a part of that situation to help, like our musically inclined youth. You know, like, because leading up to that, in the years past, leading up to the actual festival, they would have a youth conference. You know, it's times like that where you could do big stuff like that. I know Cowboy Smith from down in the Bloods or Begunny, he does that media summit. And I did one of his I was one of the I did a songwriting session there, and then I got to perform with some of the youth there. So, you know, it takes a lot of organization, and it would take a good somebody that has a lot of vision, and to see that through, because it could happen. It could definitely happen, and I think it would be a really good idea, because there's so much talent, and we got to tap into it. And you know, it's not hard to, I mean, I shouldn't say it's not hard, but if somebody got the proper you know, channels, or at least direction, it could help them, you know, help them get their stuff onto CDs and online, and because it's all about streaming now, right? Streaming. So it's I mean, I'm definitely picking up what you're putting down, and I think that's a good idea to get something like that on the res. Also too, the you were mentioning too the Run as One. I was also thinking too, it'd be really cool, like, I know Run as One is big right now, but it would be really cool to, like, let's say have like, let's just say like thousands of people, like almost like fill the whole Sportsplex parking lot. That would be really cool to see, you know, kind of like let's say we get like DJ Shubin again, and we kind of like, or like you know, just fill the whole parking lot. What do you think it would take to fill that parking lot? Like if we were to, like, do you think we would have to, like,
I guess, advertise more, get people involved, or like?
I think marketing, you know, getting it right out there, making it, and plugging in, you know, whatever, like a big marketing budget so that it's something that everyone knows about. Because a lot of times, like, maybe nobody knows, you know, there'll be the select few, and then some of the fans of the headliners, like, they'll post it on their website and be like, oh, you're in Siksika, and then because it's usually a Thursday night, right? But I think marketing it and really pushing that aggressive marketing, because now, you know, I see billboards in Calgary, the Siksika, you know, like at the airport and through the downtown core, everything, like, we're out there. We need to tap into that and utilize that avenue and really market it, because I think it could be that it's a big festival and we could turn it into that. I think we've even done 2 days of that festival at one point. But these past couple, I had to miss the last one for the first time in a very long time, because I was doing I had a booking last year. Because I've been booked, you know, like, I've been really busy, right? So but last year I remember they did it on a Thursday. I think it was like the August 4th, if I'm not so but honestly, I think it's just marketing that really good. Getting it on billboards, getting it on, you know, and then just doing a full out blitz.
Also too, I think one of what helps too is I know for myself, the reason why I can't make it sometimes to the Rennes one is because, like, I'm dancing, and I think that's the same problem with other people. It would be kind of cool if just, like, test it out, maybe a 2-day powwow, and maybe Friday night we just tell the people, like, okay, well, like,
you gotta listen to music.
There's like free stuff. You can come here. You can check it out. Let's get a bunch of people.
Even if I don't know, something like that. Anything like there's different like scenarios. You could do different things, try different things, and but they have a committee. They have chairperson. They got like, you know, getting involved in that, especially in your role. You know, getting on top, getting right in there with them and saying, hey, what can we do? How could we? What did I say? How can we make this, you know, really happen?
But that's a
lot to say.
But that was pretty cool. Just like stuff like that. Also too, it kind of gearing like, because the whole point of this podcast is we're trying to gear back to Siksika, kind of like. I want this to be kind of like, not to like tell people what to do, but it would be like maybe somebody from health is watching and just be like, oh, hey, they said this on the podcast. You know, this would be pretty cool if we did this, you know. Maybe give somebody some ideas, but like.
No, I think that's why, you know, we were trying to do it. Like, we wanted a podcast for cultural reasons. We wanted language revitalization. That's why we wanted the podcast. But we timed out. And I'm hoping it's still a go on that end. But same reason, like, we wanted everyone to work together and be like, oh, that's awesome. You know? Yeah, I'm ready. What are we doing? We're still going?
Yeah, we're still going. It's still the audio is still recording, so and the timer's back on.
All right. Well, tell me what am I saying?
No, but just jumping off that subject, like literally, like, kind of like it'd be pretty cool to see stuff like that on the reserve, even just like it doesn't even have to be for music. One big thing that's been coming up in all of the talks, actually, and it's kind of like kind of a repeating thing, but like it would be really cool to see that, not just in music but like also in hockey, you know. As someone who wants to get into hockey or AAA, be like, oh, well, there's someone here, they can send you off, you know. Be like, okay, well, cool, like I can go check this out, I can go check that out. Be kind of like even just like one big facility. I think that was Frank who brought that up too. Kind of be cool to have this one facility where we can just all go, you know, even just like, hey, I kind of need a job. Where can I apply? Oh, well, they'll help you get a job, even off the reserve, you know. They'll just resume writing, stuff like that, get you into school, you know, get you to talk to Armond.
No, I think there is places like that, but we just need to come together, like remove the silos and work together and really advertise our you know, the whole situation, because there's avenues to go for, like what you said, resume building. And then we have a lot of hockey players, a lot of elite level hockey players that you know, are going places and have gone places, that we can get them all together, and create that. You know, we're really trying to revitalize and revive our minor hockey. You know, at one point, I remember the minor hockey was. We were winning, you know, a lot, and I know with COVID, it slowed things down. That, you know, but we're not gonna dwell on that. But yeah, I think it's, you know, there's so much potential for every area to come out and just be better and helpful and get our youth, you know, direction.
Also too, well, like, I'm gonna actually change the subject a little bit, but like just because personally I want to know, and I think other people will want to know, like tell me some stories about your powwow days. Kind of like nothing crazy, nothing
all I got is crazy.
We gotta keep it, I guess, PG-13. But no, but like were there any times where you kind of got real well, personally me, like I got really lucky sometimes where I was like, I think I had 150. I went all the way to Regina. I accidentally somehow won $1,000. Managed to get back. Do you got stories like that?
Yeah. So way back when, we're talking 2001. Right.
Oh wow.
That time, Siksika Recreation used to lend out the vans. Right. And our drum group took the van. And we scrounged up the boys and we would go to places with no money. But back then it was like, what, 49 cents a liter for fuel? And then so we rounded up the boys and was like, okay, we're gonna go to Arlee, Montana. And we got the boys together, and we were trying to, like, we were cruising down the I-15, and I looked down the map and was like, okay, let's go this way towards Missoula, and then it looks like right here, if we take this road, we'll cut straight to Arlee. Well, we did, but that road was closed. The bridge was condemned. There was no turning back because we took a stress break about halfway through the mountain, and we got off and we looked down, and there was 2 bears right below us, like probably 10 feet. It was, holy smokes, made us more stressed, right? So we got back in the van. We got all the way to the bottom of the mountain, and just about like to the powwow, and the bridge was closed. And I was like, what are we gonna do? So we emptied out the van. I didn't know if it helped, but we just made a run for it. The bridge was only probably about 20 feet. But we made a run for it. We got across. And anyways, so that weekend we were just like running low on we're feeding the boys. Whoever had money would feed it was somebody who didn't have money. So, you know, if you go to the Indian taco stand, I'll get 2 tacos, you feed one of the boys. You know, we always made sure we were taken care of. And so that particular weekend it was a marathon of a powwow because it started on Thursday. We got there Thursday, and this is how it went. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and it ended Tuesday because it was July 4th. So the competition went all weekend and 2 days into the week. It was the longest powwow I've ever been to. And there was a singing contest. And then we were singing, and we were feeling good. We were crisp. We were having a good weekend. We had a couple of people helping us out, jamming, and we were just tight. Everything was just right. And you know, I'll tell this story with pride because when it came down to the results, and again, we were at that point, no money. Some of us didn't have any money. And then we're like, okay, they're reading the results. And at that time, it was 5,000 to the winners, and I think vests. Big money at that time, right? And it's like, okay, well, we're listening, and I forget how did it go. I think it was fourth place. I forget who was fifth, but fourth was like Wild Rose.
Oh, really? Wild Rose.
Yeah, and then Star Blanket Juniors. And then they got into the second and first, and they were like all the way from Alberta, Canada, give a round of applause for Northern Cree, right? And we were like, holy smokes. And then we thought, because they said Alberta, Canada, that it was us. But Northern Cree came in second. So then they named the winners. And they said, again, from Alberta, Canada, Siksika boys. Holy smoke. So at that time, Northern Cree was kicking everybody. Like, they were winning everything. And they still are. Like, they're that good. But I will say, we beat them that day. Siksika boys, we beat Northern Cree, and then we got the vests, and that was awesome. So anyways, that next day we went to the Missoula Mall and we just dripped hard. Everybody had new K-Swiss, the latest FUBU fashion. And then we went to Browning. We kept the van. We went to Browning because Browning started Thursday, right? So we only had Wednesday to kind of shop and play. I think we went to the water slides. The boys were paid. We had money, times were good. And then we went to Browning, and I think we ended up second.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then we were really having a good summer that week. And then we went to Alamo the following week, and we ended up third. We lost to Black Lodge, which was totally acceptable.
Totally.
And then the week 4, it was Tutina. We went head-to-head with Northern Cree, and they beat us. So they were first, we were second, right? So, but I mean, at that time, that was one story that I always tell because, I tell it for obvious reasons. We beat Northern Cree, and I'll say that again.
Who was on that drum group?
There's me. Let's see, the late Chico, Pro Chief, Harold. I want to say
Henry, right?
Henry was there. Kent was there. Herman was there. We had Junior Whitegrass.
Crazy, Junior Whitegrass.
Yeah, he was there. He sang with us. I think Larry White sang with us.
Holy.
And then I'm trying to think, because our group had to split up that week. We took about the original 6 of us, and I'm pretty sure Norvin and Galen were there. But they were part of the drum group. BJ, Calfrobe, Kevin Dorr, Joey Calf. He was there. Tony Wolfchild, Eddie Wolfchild. I don't think Eddie was there at that one, but Tony was, I believe. But we took it down that time with that group. And
so what I'm getting from this is that you guys basically left the van.
No way. We brought the van back 2 weeks after, after Browning. We brought the van back, and then
did you guys have to walk back, get back in the van?
Oh yeah, no. I drove the van across that bridge.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh crazy.
Yeah, so we took everything out of the van, make it lighter. And I said, okay, boys, let's pray. And we just look up beeline right for that bridge. And I was like, I hope I don't fall in, right? But the bridge was still pretty secure. And we made sure, because we all went to the bridge, we're jumping on it to see if it would bust. And it didn't. So we just took off, and I got across. So we had the van. Like, the van was still good. And I brought it back in mint condition.
Mint condition. But that's the other thing, too. I'm not trying to bring up both things, but I noticed, I never knew this. I never actually looked at the Blackfoot Confederacy. I think it's Setting the Record Straight. Was it? I never noticed, you, Kent, Herman, all of them. What happened? Was that like a one-time thing, kind of a thing with Blackfoot Confederacy, or? It
was initially. I think how it went was there was a few guys talking that they wanted to record an album with Blackfoot Confederacy singers. 3 or 4 from each reserve, and again, to set the record straight, right? That's what they called it. They wanted these chicken dance songs from the different reserves, and then we set up this drum group, but I think it was a little complicated because you got lead singers from and it's everybody, everybody, there was a little bit of like, I wouldn't say disagreements, but there was a little bit of like miscommunication on songs maybe, and leads. Like it kind of it was a really hectic situation. But I mean, the outcome was good. Like the CD sounds mint, right? And it was a good idea and a good concept. And then, but after that, they took that, I think it was Leo, right? Leo took the name, and I think Norvin's in that drum group, and then Sean Cutter. And then they took that and they ran with it, right? Now they're a drum group.
Doing pretty good. Yeah, they're doing.
So
good.
I mean, I don't know if it. I remember Leo was in that original sitting, and then
just because I was curious, because I that's the only time I've ever seen like you guys like singing with them. I thought you guys were a part of it at one time, or was it?
Well, we were initially. It was like they were setting us up. I think there was like 15 of us.
Yeah, I see.
It was okay. You guys are going to sing. It was Browning Indian Days. All right, so we all went there to do that, and that was around. I think it was around 2004, 2003, and then it was like because I pretty much was done with powwow around 2004 because I went hard into rodeo 2005, so that's why I just kind of went a different direction, right? I don't know what the story was behind keeping the Blackfoot Confederacy drum group going, and who was going to be involved in that, right? I was done, right? I was bulldog and steers.
So, but yeah, the one thing I also wanted to know about too was like. How or not know about, but I guess what you could probably reflect on towards other people, because I want to keep like reflecting back to Siksika. So like, well, one thing maybe, because there's a lot of youth out there. I've actually went out and I was actually kind of talking to some people. They don't know where to even start or where to even begin to do this stuff. Like, would you think it would be cool, or kind of also cool, and maybe give, I guess, ideas? Like, where do you start? Like, let's say when you want to start dancing, or even like making your own outfit, or like going to different singers. How do I even get into a drum group? Or like even also too, like would it be a cool idea too to also have like, well, I mean, I know there's already stuff out there on this, but like I know not a lot of people hear about it, but like being able to go out and make your own outfits, make your own bead, like learning how to bead, knowing which people to go to. Like I know there's like lots of singers on the reserve. There's Darcy Turner, there's you, there's Kent. There's a lot of singers, but not a lot of people know how to even start. Like, what would you tell young people? Like, and we're talking about like somebody who, let's say, there are some people on the reserve that kind of don't know little to nothing. So,
I think, if you want something bad enough, you can go get it. So I remember when I wanted to dance. So after I was at that Awareness Week powwow and I seen those traditional dancers, face was painted. I made that decision. I want to do that. So I went out and I didn't have nothing. My family wasn't a powwow family. Like they didn't come. My mom and them didn't. They weren't into powwows. They didn't travel to powwows. But because I had the absolute like vision that I was going to do what those guys were doing, we just asked. I think Winston Twin, he was the one. He basically gave me his outfit to try that next powwow. He said, "Here, if you like it, we can get you an outfit and we can make it." So he let me try his outfit, and I danced that week, and I think I placed. And then even the people, like the boys at the powwow, "Oh, hey, you dance now?" I was like, "I don't know yet." But it was like just asking, asking anybody, because there's a lot of people out there that are willing to help, even with singing. If you just ask, like if you just approach somebody right now, like Alex Scalplock's in the schools, right, and he's teaching kids how to sing, and there's kids that can really sing, and then it's just a matter of getting them if they want to pursue it and continue it. Just not being afraid to ask somebody for help, because there's a lot of people that will help. When we were singing, there was a lot of younger guys. "Hey, can I be here?" "Yeah, come out." And we just gauged their interest by their commitment level. If they would come out, we say, "Hey, we're having a practice this day, and if they were there, they were in. You know, we never ever we never told somebody, no, you can't come sing. We always let them come sing, and if they were into it and they loved it, they stayed around, and so that's my advice. If you want to do something, whatever that is, if it's singing, dancing, hockey, rodeo, ask, go show that commitment. Be that, you know, because like there's different resources right now at the arena. There's in the back there was a donation of hockey equipment. You know, so if you really want something, you just have to ask. There's people that will point you in the right direction, and then people, oh, there's hockey equipment back there. If you need skates, you need some, you know, equipment, basic equipment, and that works the same with everything, like with powwow, with dancing, singing, like just be genuine. If you really want it, go get it.
I think that's a good example too, because also too with myself, well, like trying to get into powwow. Well, I mean, I've always been into powwow, but there was like a point where I wanted to start making my own stuff. I mean, because I think it's better to give an example, because I wanted to make my own outfit, and I like at the time I was like, how do I even start? And so I basically just was like, oh, I want to make this kind of outfit. So I went out. I think it was Montana. Browning. Browning. Went to Browning, got some fabric. Just ribbon. I think I only had 3 different colors on it. I still wear the outfit today, but like kind of just threw it together, random fringe, just threw it on, and I just danced.
See, that's it. If you have it in your mind that you want to do something, there's nothing that could stop you. Like, you know, if you just work at something and show the commitment and put in the time and the effort to practice and perfect it, there's nothing saying you cannot do something.
Also too, I think the one thing that I think people need to realize too is that I know a lot of people get very intimidated by powwow too, because they're like, oh, I want to win, you know, I want to, but I think that shouldn't be a factor. Sometimes it's like, you know, just go out there and dance, you know what I mean, you know, kind of like I think a lot of people, there's like a lot of people getting intimidated, being like, you know, there's lots of really good dancers out there, you know, but I want to win, and then they kind of, I find some people get scared too, you know what I mean, like also too, like.
Well, I don't know anything about that, because if you want to dance, you better want to win.
Say, I've always won. I've always been that good.
No, but for me, it comes down to like, you know, like just want to do something, do it. Just and if you want to be good at it, then work hard, and you will be a winner.
You know? Even too, like I also like try not to, because I forgot which year it was. I think it was 2014. I didn't win one powwow, and I think I won 4th because there was 4 dancers. The next year, I think that same year, I think it was September, I just started dancing next year. And the next year, 2015, I won every single powwow I went to.
See, that was motivation.
Motivation.
You seen it. You're like, holy smokes, I can't get out of this slump. But you danced your way out of the slump. It's like that in everything. Like, you know, and bulldog, and there's a lot of times where you don't win. And you're just donating your entrophies, and you're not doing. But if you just keep practicing, you keep grinding, you're going to bulldog your way right out of that slump, just like how you danced your way out of it, and then you couldn't be beat, you know.
Even this past year, what was last year, 2022? I barely won this past year, but I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna let that. So I'm practicing right now, so I'm hoping this year that I'm gonna do good, because I've been practicing.
Don't even hope, just keep practicing.
Keep practicing.
That's the key, you know, to anything in life. You gotta keep practicing. I play my guitar every day, like, you know, and I'm thinking of songs and writing songs, and practice really helps. You put in the time, you're gonna get the results.
Kind of like the stuff you practice alone, you'll get praised for. When you do it in public.
Exactly.
Just nothing that's in the shower, though.
That's a practice place.
Jokes.
Where you learn how to sing.
Learn how to sing. You gotta learn how to sing. You sing in the shower, you know.
And then you get your range. There's good acoustics in the bathroom. I wrote Country Groove in my bathroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I even recorded on my YouTube channel. There's a cover. It's called what is it called again? it's a cowboy song.
Yeah.
I recorded in the bathroom because the acoustics are amazing.
Yeah.
So the bathroom's a place to practice.
A place to practice. Really. but yeah, powwows, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's pretty fun to do. Like there was even this one time too where I was I think that year that I told you about when I just started winning, but 2015 I went to Frog Lake. I was really surprised, but like this is the reason why I get called Hutch Jr. now, but like because before I was going by Tyrone Sitting, and so I went up to, I was gonna go to Frog Lake with Frank, Frank Sitting Eagle, and so we were both going up, and we were going up with there's two other guys there I can't remember, but we went up, and my relatives from up there were like, oh hey, you want me to register you? Because I was telling them we were gonna be late. We're gonna be late to Frog Lake, so I was like, yeah, sure. They're like, well, what do you want me to put you down as? I jokingly said, oh, Hudson Eagle Jr. Hudson Eagle Jr. So they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. So I didn't think they'd take me seriously because they knew my real name. But then I got there, they gave me my number. I was late for grand entry too, but thankfully they didn't take down points. For some odd reason, they didn't take down points for 7 o'clock grand entry Friday night. Mm-hmm. So I was pretty happy. I think Friday night too, it was there was a special. I think I came third in the Sunday night special or Saturday special, and then Sunday. I remember I was just sitting there. I was like, they were like 5th place. I can't remember. They got all the way to 2nd. I remember I was like, gee, I don't know if I'm gonna place. And they're like 1st place. Hutch Sitting Eagle Jr. I was like, oh what? So I ran up there. I was really excited. And ever since then, it's just history. No, but yeah, that's why I go by Hudson Eagle Jr. Because after that, everybody just started calling me Hutch. They were like, "Oh, hey, Hutch." I don't know. I barely hear my own name now. Yeah. It's either Inishkim or Taxi.
Statskas. Yeah, I know it's a good feeling, especially when the hard work pays off and you get that call. And because at the time when we beat Northern Creek, all we would do is sing every single day.
Yeah. It's kind of nerve-wracking too. I think that's one of the scariest things is just waiting for. We're waiting for your name to be called, and it doesn't. Sometimes, even at I won't say which power, but this summer I was waiting, and they were like 1st place, and I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna. I was like, oh crap, never coming back here again. Jokes, though, but yeah,
did you win?
No, I didn't win.
Oh,
no, I actually only placed twice, and I went to like 9 powwows. So yeah, well, like I guess, I think my own motto is like. I've probably lost more powwows than I've won, so I really don't consider myself a.
Come on,
but I never stop. Never stop.
Get rid of that motto.
I love to dance.
Exactly. You love to do something. Good things are going to come of it.
But yeah. But another subject too. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about next, but I'm just going to wing it. And so, but anyways, so I got some fun facts to throw at you. Wait, how much time do we got left? That's crazy. Today I submitted my song, and it got I heard back from a big label.
Right on.
Yeah. So
what kind of a song?
It's EDM dance, dance music. The type where you get on the dance floor. Like it's
like Terry Crews on White Chicks and he's shirt.
The type where you're kind of sad and you're just dancing and crying.
I do that all the time in the shower.
Also, too. Okay, well, we're back. Wait, actually,
and we're back.
Okay, so this is just also this next kind of thing is kind of just I guess kind of like ideas of what I guess we could help the reserve, help other people, or kind of help just basically help everyone on the reserve. What kind of ideas would you throw out there? Because I know it's like one of the main things of my whole the serious kind of a thing. Like we talk and all that, but well, one thing, it was kind of like, because we do have people with addictions, we do have people with kind of problems, and not judging, because you know everybody has problems. What kind of things? What kind of things do you think could happen? Because like, I know we do help people on the reserve. You know, we got places for that. But what do you think we could do to help everybody? You know, I know, but these are just ideas. This is not criticizing any stuff that's already going on the reserve, but like just like ideas, like because I know there's still some people that are left out. You know, and it's a hard thing to do, because it's hard to help everybody, and I think that's one of the hardest jobs to do, is even though we do help some people, there's always some people that are left out. Like what are some things that we can do to get to everybody, or maybe bring the community into one? Because we also have people that are, I guess, struggling. We get people who are kind of in the negative things, you know, kind of like, oh, what kind of things do you think we could do in terms of that?
I mean, I really like the concept of this podcast, because what it will do, if positioned right, you know, it could put the right people in the right place at the right time, like on a cell phone or a computer, or however they're gonna get that out. Like when I say positioning it right, it's like getting this out there. Like, I know a lot of people don't do the internet, they don't do Facebook, they don't do, because we have elders and the older demographic that they're not really into that. But I think like if we utilize what we have going now with the youth, they can show you know, different like, oh hey, I checked out this podcast, you should listen to it, and it could connect the, you know, it could bridge the gap between like the youth and the elders on any topic. So stuff like this. I know Health has a podcast. I think Running Rabbit's running one over there. And they're targeting they're targeting different issues, you know, and I think it's the wave of the future. People are listening to these things. Like, I don't know where this one's going to end up. But, you know, if it ends up in a place where it's accessible and people could listen to it, it's one of the best avenues right now to get the message out there, because there's a lot to be said, and like you said, I mean, sometimes it's hard. There's a lot of stigma attached to addictions and stuff like that. People don't want to, you know, talk about it or whatever. It's times like this when you can just sit face to face and have a discussion about something, and then have people listen on it, and then they could say, oh, well, I could use that. I could use what he said, or I could use that help. I think this is one good way. Other than that, it's putting in the footwork to do it. Like in the schools is a big place. If you have any, you know, programming, any kind of helpful and useful, anything that's worth it, pitching it to different like departments, because there's different departments target different demographics. I remember when I was done working at the school, and then I was doing addictions counseling through NADAP at the clinic. Then I was done that. While I was getting my diploma in business, I created a program and I pitched it to Justice. And I did a youth program right out of the basement there at the public safety building. So, you know, if you have that idea, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the footwork, whether it's going, you know, door to door, community to community, because we have a really big community. Like half of our members are off reserve and they're living in Calgary and other cities, right? So it's even like, how can you get to them? And I believe that this avenue is one of the, if positioned right, could get to those, you know, the people that are off reserve and living in, you know, different time zones and whatnot. But other than that, it's just the sweat equity, putting in the work. If you really have the heart to help, if you really have that vision to see, you know, Siksika be a better place, then it's putting in the work. Getting whatever it is done. Like, because if you just, you know, if you take what you got, put it together and then give it to somebody. Hey, can you help me? I want to do this. Yeah. There's a lot of people that will help.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that that are willing, and those are the people that are in the management seats. The departments. Like they're, again, if we get rid of the silos and there's a lot of departments that are doing good things.
Yeah.
But it's getting that knowledge out there. And like when I say out there, I mean like right into the households to say, did you know that this department can help you with this? Did you know that this place you can go for this? And a lot of times they don't know. So if they were like, okay, that's really good information, then it's up to them, to want to go and pursue any helpful resources that they need. But we have a lot here on the nation. It just needs to be brought to the public.
Also too, I noticed too, it's kind of it does kind of end up to the type of environment. How else, like, now we discussed that part, and I'm going to kind of go a little bit deeper. How do you think we could, like, but I know you did kind of delve into it a little bit going house to house, but like, how do you think we could help those people that are like, again, not judging, but like help the people that are kind of going through a hard time? Because I know there's some kids on the reserve that don't have the best environment. I know I've heard of kids, not really having much to eat. Having too many, I guess. Not having parents around. That's nobody's fault, because it's just sometimes things get hard, and then sometimes people turn to drinking, right? And like, how do you think we could help people that kind of like, so sometimes we just can't reach, I know going door to door will help. How else do you think we could reach those people? Because I know like just hearing, I've heard of like kids, like I've seen kids drinking at 14, 15. I've heard of kids smoking at 13. It's sad, but like, I'm not trying to judge anybody. Again, I'm trying to get that clear. It's just something that is kind of that I would like, to see, people thrive. Bring our community together. Like, how do you think we could reach those people, or like, how do you think we could help them? Because I know one idea was like it would be cool to be like, okay, well, like, we could send you to, rehab. We could help you. We could give you cultural support. We could give you mental support. Also, too, we could also help you get a job. Well, like, we got SRDL, but like, it would be cool to get to them. But I guess it's pretty hard to get to everybody. But like, it's hard to solve all the problems. You know what I mean? But like,
I think stripping it down to basic interaction. When we go out in the public or anywhere, you're going to go to the mall, you're going to go to the sportsplex to watch a game. It's talking with your peers or the nation members, sitting down, visiting, getting to know them, because then you could know, what are they facing? What are they going through? What's so-and-so doing? How come I haven't seen this person? What are they up to? They're not doing good. Their mental health isn't up to par. Knowledge is power. And then you could, really, I guess then if they were open for advice or anything. But I feel like that there's a disconnect, especially with like phones. You go to the public, you go to like Petro, you go to like Marketplace, everyone's either on their phone or they're not willing to like just have a face-to-face conversation. Now it's all about like Facebook, likes and all that, right? So I think just stripping it right down and going back to face-to-face interaction. Hey, what's up? How are you? How are things? Like visiting, but back when I was younger, I know my mom and dad and aunties and uncles and their friends, they would come over, they would visit, they would have tea, they would do stuff like that. That doesn't happen anymore, because now I can know what you're up to if I just go look on your Facebook, hey? And I shake my head. But like, I'm just saying, like, I think if we were to go one step forward, take it back, strip it down, and have conversations with our nation members, with our cousins, with our family. How are you? How are things? Because then you'll get a more of a grasp, because you can only get so much on social media, because social media is just whatever a person feels like sharing. They don't tell you actually what's going on. So that's my like what I would say, you know, it's getting to know somebody again, visiting a family, visiting a friend. Then you get that, because like I worked in the schools, even going to the schools, I know there's strict policies now, especially, you know, COVID changed the world. Right? You can't just walk into the school, and you can't hang around the school, like stuff like that. But it's, if you could do it at an official, you know, capacity, hey, you know, I'd be a good idea to be a part of like the school functions, to show that support. There's basketball teams, there's volleyball teams, you know, they have league games, like going to watch, you know, having even hockey, going to watch the minor hockey games, like because then you get a chance to rub shoulders and see old friends, and and that's where the conversation piece, you know, if someone's not doing good, or so-and-so's not doing good, or so-and-so doesn't have anything to eat, then it's like, okay, well then how could we do that? And then again, getting all the resources together. I know a couple of years ago they were having, when I was working at the college, I mean not the college, sorry, high school, we were having interagency meetings. Somebody just needs to take full control of those and have them all the time, because then all the different agencies on the reserve and all the different departments they're knowledgeable of what they're doing, and then it can go down to like the first, like the first level, like of interaction with the people. Then it can be just a big, you know, plan, because then we could reach more, we could do more. But I do like the concept of a podcast, because it's a way now, and it's growing. Popularity of a podcast is growing. So and then just stripping it down to that face-to-face contact, visiting. Because you learn a lot, and you take in more if it's face-to-face.
For real.
Because social media is not.
It's I find
it's disconnect.
I feel disconnected sometimes. I mean, I gotta get out of that. Where I find myself just scrolling YouTube, kind of like you scroll into the wrong places. You know, especially.
But don't get me wrong, like my Facebook page, you know.
For real. No, like go follow me. I need followers. I think that's also that also brings up another subject that I wanted to talk about too, because like also too, mental health is another big thing on the reserve that I think that could actually help a lot of people, and that's part of the reason why I think this is a cool idea too, is because a lot of young people, or I think it's a big thing, because even though technology is kind of everybody's in their technology, and so I guess also too, I guess might as well utilize it while everybody's into it. But like, although I'm not suggesting go on your phone for 13 hours a day, but like I think reaching them in this way, or like mental health wise too, how do you think like for myself, like dealing with things, you know, like not knowing that I actually had trauma built up, and like looking at myself, you know, reflecting on myself, and after thinking about that, I kind of feel like there's a lot more people like that, not only just both all genders, you know, like men, women, children. What kind of things, well, like would you do, or have you done, or would you suggest do for other people to start doing for themselves? Because for me, I think one big thing was just realizing that, you know, being thankful for what I have, you know, rather than trying to be thankful for things that I don't have, you know, kind of like trying to be like, oh, I wish I had 50 grand right now, you know what I mean? Or like because there is a lot of people I do know that struggle with their mental health, and which is why they drink, which is why they do drugs, which is why they turn to all this stuff, you know. And it's not just drinking and drugs, it's also just not having enough money, you know, all this mental health. And it does come down to environment and stuff, like what we talked about before, kids being in the wrong environment, you know, with their parents, you know, there's parties and stuff. But like, how would you recommend youth, or not just youth, but adults, to do all that, like get healthy mentally? Or I'm no mental health expert by any means, but like I just feel like using a platform like this to bring in those mental health experts, you know, that's one avenue. Or putting your, you know, eggs in one basket and having like the conferences or the you know, with those professionals in the building that help you cope with stuff like that. And I mean, that's one way, because like you know, for me it was just the choices I made, and I always try and drive that to people. Like I've never drank or done drugs or smoked cigarettes in my life. Nowadays, I'll have the occasional cigar because they taste good. But I've never done that. And I made that choice very early. It was like, I think it was like 8 or 9. I remember I had a babysitter. I was watching my sister's 3 years younger than me, so she is 6 or something. And I remember telling my babysitter, I don't ever want to drink or do drugs. And she said, oh, we all say that. But you will. And I was like, what? I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna. And I never have. I've never been drunk a day in my life. A lot of people don't believe that, but it's true. I've never been drunk in my life. I was on morphine once because I broke my finger steer wrestling, and it felt awesome. But I've never been on drugs otherwise, you know, like that's the choice I made. And I lived by that choice, and I did everything I could in my power to, you know, relay that message to youth. If I'm working with youth, we started the Siksika Nation Youth Movement in 2004. We just did that on our own. It was me, Eddie Wolfchild, and Joni Big Ol' Man, and we had a video dance. Oh no, not a video dance, just a youth dance. We charged $5 admission. We took that money, we bought pizzas, we announced our community meetings. We worked out a deal with Dino Olds was our bus driver. He picked up our kids. We paid him a few bucks gas, and then we used the rest for pizza. And then we worked out a deal with 2-for-1 pizza in Strathmore. So we had, like, you know, we had that youth group for years, you know. And then it turned into like the Run as One and whatnot. But I think it's like those kind of things. Like if you have a message that you want to relay, position yourself that you could do that. If you really truly want to help, you can go find a way to do it. If you want to be that person, you know, go door to door, visit like the old days, like be what you want to be.
What you be the solution to the problem, or at least try, you know, because like it's a tough subject. Me, that was just my choices at a young age. My choice, and every day, you know, I make that choice consciously. I went, okay, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to, you know, do drugs. That's the choice I make, and that's what I live by. I represent, you know, Siksika in everything I do, and I try to represent Siksika the best way I can. And you know, that's you know, because I get to go, like tomorrow I'm in Saskatoon playing a show, you know. And
that's crazy.
You know, I'm like, I got a big touring schedule. Like I've been busy this year already, and I got a lot of stuff coming up, so I'm just you know, very blessed and thankful I get to do that. But at the same time, I'm, you know, I know that that's a really touchy subject.
Because I know that's that's one of the things I wanted to kind of dwell on, is just because like it is a tough subject, and not I think that's part of the reason why not really too many people talk about it. But it's something I think that is a part of healing, is talking about it. And not only with that, I also want to like keep the whole thing going, and keep the subject. Sorry, I got a little I get distracted, but no, but yeah, it was like how do I say it? Like, I guess bringing up these subjects is why I wanted to is what I wanted to talk about, because people don't talk about these things. Yeah, and it's sometimes they do need to be said, because I'm not saying they do need to be said. I'm not forcing anybody to do, but I think it would kind of give a lot of people, I guess, kind of sort of a voice, because I do want other people to come on. You know, maybe I'll get somebody from like. Who knows, I might get like somebody from residential school who went through that, and they could tell their story here. And maybe I'll give other people the courage to do this and all that. And maybe, just because I know there's people that don't talk about it, like and stuff like that. But just that's the reason why I kind of wanted like to get, I guess, you give your input on your experience and your own, because.
And I think, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
Bringing this podcast forward to target these issues that are, plaguing the nation, or issues that are going to uplift the nation. A podcast is a good way to do that. The next thing you got to do, though, is position that podcast in a way where it's being heard. People are actually listening to it. People are actually like taking time out of their day, because to listen. To say, oh, there's a podcast. There's something to look forward to, or maybe something to shed a light on different topics. But it's getting that from here. To the listeners, phone or whatever, right? That's the trick. Because you could talk all day. But if nobody's listening, you're just talking.
You're just talking.
So it's working on how are you gonna get that out? And that's one thing you gotta really push.
Holy smokes, we're already out of time.
I like it.
That was
part 2 coming up.
Next up with Nin'na. But I guess that's all the time we have. I guess I'll just do a quick outro. But that was Armond Duckchief, local, well, not local anymore, but like country star singer.
I'm not local.
Ex-minor chief. But anyways, that was Armond Duckchief. I'll let him plug in his Spotify and stuff if he wants to do that. But follow my Instagram. It's gonna be right here when I edit it. Eleeus, ELEEUS _baby hatch. I can't remember, but just look me up on Instagram.
Can't remember.
But it'll be there. And go ahead. I'll let you give your outro quick.
Follow my Facebook. It'll be right here. Armond Duckchief Music. Check it out. And everything else, all the streaming and sites that are available, Spotify, Apple Music, you name it. We're on there. And then follow I even have a website, armondduckchief.com, so you can check it out. We're, getting it we're building it up right now, so it's still bare bones, but working on making it a real interactive place to sell merch and stuff.
Oh, really? You're going to start selling merch?
Yeah, we got merch. We're doing good on merch at the live shows. So, jump on the train. It's Armond Duckchief Music on Facebook. All my music, the latest updates and the latest shows and whatever we have kind of coming down the line. It's all on there,
Okay, cool. All right. And that's been Sit Down with Nin'na, and peace out.